Hey, good morning and welcome to TWC. We've got a bunch of hawks going overhead here. Welcome to TWC Projects. I'm glad to have you here today, and I am super excited because my favorite time, it's spring. Everything's coming to life, green everywhere, trees, buds coming through. It means some work for me too, because I've got to make sure some of these areas, like the area that we had to tear up when we were doing construction for the garage, I've got to start leveling that out a little bit and clean off the rock, and I'll be running around today too with the aerator a little bit, I think, and aerating a lot of the areas that just are, that need it, and we'll get some grass seed down and some straw on top of it. I got a couple bales there and a big bag of seed underneath those bales, and so we're going to get to it. If we have time, we might do a little bit of mulch over here, not mulch, but the wood chips from the wood chipper. I've got some here. I've got another pile that I can probably grab with the tractor too, and try to just fill this in a little bit here along the sides so it doesn't get too nasty too quickly. At some point, I'm going to have to figure out how to get some kind of a low growing something growing in there. If you have any good ideas, of course, this is kind of like clay stuff, so not everything is going to grow there. I don't want something that I have to maintain so much. Like, I don't want to be out here trimming it with a trimmer or anything like that. It's a pretty steep slope to do that with, so I'm thinking just something that just kind of creeps along and gets in a good root structure, but doesn't look too bad. That'll, so I'll figure that out as I go along, like I do everything else. But I got to clean up, get rid of some of this wood here, and then of course, I want to show you. It's a white birch tree that I put in last year, and I was, hoping it would survive the winter okay. And look at it, it's just so beautiful. It's coming in real well. So white birch, of course, is not really indigenous to Virginia. It's but it will grow here, supposedly. It seems to be so far. I also have a lilac bush that I'm doing the same thing with, that I love from, all that stuff reminds me of Maine. So I brought a little of that here with me, and I'm going to get to it. I think that's mainly it. Just, got to aerate, seed, do some leveling. Probably have to drag the tractor out here to level this out a little bit better. And then I'll pull the aerator behind the UTV, and then we'll get the grass seed and straw down. So hope you enjoy hanging out with me. It's spring stuff. It's stuff we got to do, and most everything's been kind of focused around the garage, just because that was the biggest disruption, but also the biggest excitement for me is to be able to have a place to store things and have a workshop. It's still a ways away from getting all that set up, but a little bit at a time. As you see, every week I make a little progress, and I enjoy it. I could probably hire somebody else to do it, if or spend the money if I had it to do that. But for me, it's the joy of doing it, right? And then sharing it with you, right, on YouTube. So I hope you're enjoying it too. Anyway, thanks for coming along. Let's get to work. All right, well, not perfect by any means, but certainly a lot better. Cleared a lot of this out. Put some of it down along the garage with a little bit, could use a little bit more. And the stone is pretty dirty, a lot of debris in it. So I was originally thinking I might use it in front of the garage, but it's just too dirty. I'll put it down where some areas where I've got some drainage problems, and I want the water to flow a little bit better without taking away all the soil. So I think that's what I'll do with that. Make good use of it at least. So salvaged a couple wheelbarrows and got a little cleanup done here. So next to level it out and get it ready to aerate, and then I can aerate a lot of the other stuff too. So keep going. So you're probably thinking, why doesn't this guy have a stump bucket for this kind of thing? Well, it's on order, and of course it'll be here next week, but I don't want to wait till then to get this work done. So I'm trying to avoid using a pickaxe, which is the way I usually do it, with the old-fashioned pickaxe and shovel. I thought the tractor could dig it up a bit. It did all right, but didn't finish the job, so I got to do it the old-fashioned way. All right, it's turning out really well. I'm pretty much done with the part that I'm gonna do with the tractor. Got it pretty close, and it's just a matter now of going around with the rake and the shovel and kind of evening out a few of these spots where I yanked some roots out of, and just smooth it out a little bit more, get it ready for aerating, and also just ended up washing off the box blade that I borrowed from my neighbor. Like my dad always said, you borrow something from somebody, you bring it back in better condition than you got it. And if it's brand new, then you bring it back brand new. So I washed it all up. Well, I sprayed it all down a little bit. It's still got some film on it, but it was pretty dirty when I got it. So boy, I could have used some soap on it now that it's drying out. But I'm also going to put some of that rust cutter. He's got a little rust starting here on these spots. So that's a spray-on stuff I showed you a while back. I used in the lawnmower, worked real well. So I'll throw a little of that on there before I return it. And then I think next thing will be is the aerating. So let's get back to it. I got it down. Try to put it down a little bit heavy. You never put down too much because the birds eat half of it anyway. So hopefully, not all of it will come up, but hopefully that'll take, and we'll have grass in a few weeks. We'll see. It's in the low 50s today, but it'll be soon. It'll be in the 60s and 70s again, and warm enough to germinate and keep it a little wet. hopefully we should have some showers on and off, so I don't have to really put a sprinkler out here and water it, but we'll see. Anyway, time to put the straw down. Alright, well, it always takes more than you think it's going to take. I got 2 bales because I thought it'd take 1. But I think it helps. I mean, I know that, people say don't use straw because it just promotes weeds, but you know what? When you have just dirt that's eroding away, even weeds are helpful. So out here in the country, you just mow what's there. I didn't originally put much seed down at all, but I realized I needed to do some because the crap that was growing up was a mess. So anyway, I think this is pretty good. Got this done for today. You can see how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with it. I've got other things that I need to be doing too, but I don't think I'm going to record much more because this will be plenty. So it'll be exciting to see over the next few weeks. Grass come up here, hopefully. I may put a sprinkler on it just because the wind's blowing so much. I think if I wet the hay down, it'll keep it from blowing away so easily. I think it's okay right now, but the winds tend to get whipping sometimes, and no sense in losing all the hay and seed to the wind. So I think I'm going to call that it. I'm going to call that a TWC project. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if you learned anything, but at least it was hopefully a little bit interesting, and you see the journey I'm always going on here to try to get the property in shape. And thank you for joining me today on TWC Projects. As always, if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the like, share it with a friend if you that's how these things get around, because I'm kind of small time, but I just enjoy doing this, and I think the subscribers keep growing, so that's good. Hopefully that means people like it. I get a lot of good comments, so I know those folks like it. I'm happy to answer questions too. I get a lot of questions, so thank you all for coming along with me on this journey, and until next week, you have a fantastic week, and till the next video I should say, and I'll get another one out to you soon. Take care. Thank you.